I found this rather strange question, which almost all, to my surprise, quite a number of my subscribers asked me this question at one point or another: how to overcome laziness? At first, I thought it was just one person or two people, but then I realized there were quite a number of people who were asking me how to overcome laziness, how to overcome, I feel lazy, I procrastinate, I this and that. I was like, oh, okay, fine, I'll answer this. So, even though this is, for me personally, I find it a very silly topic, but I guess maybe this is very real. So, let's focus on how to overcome laziness. Now, my definition, let me give a definition so at least we are on the same page. Laziness is you're supposed to do something and you don't feel like doing it. Let's say, small example, you're supposed to clean something, or you're supposed to say something important like study something, or you're supposed to go for exercise, and I don't want to. Okay? So I hope we got the definition out of the way. You don't have interest. So now, according to me, and why do I say this is a silly topic? Because for me, I don't know, I don't get lazy, I guess. Primarily because of the most fundamental thing. I'm doing everything that I love doing. I'm doing everything that I'm passionate about. I live life on my terms. So I don't see the reason to be lazy. Like, I'll give a small example, okay? Take this small example. Let's say you have to, this was a story that I read, but it kind of states the example. There was this girl who came from work, okay? It's from one of those self-improvement books. There's a girl who came from work and she told her parents, Dad, Mom, I'm dead tired. I can't. Don't even ask me to do anything. Don't ask me to do the dishes. Don't even ask me to come for dinner. I'm too tired. She threw her shoes one side, removed her socks. Then, I can't take it. And Dad and Mom were, listen, no, I can't take. Took off her sweater. Then she, dub, climbed upstairs and slowly shut the door. No, I don't want to hear anything. Please, just leave me. And she was almost going to cry. Okay. And the father, mother, okay, fine. Finally, the father shouted, my dear, you sure you don't want to go? No, Dad, I don't care. Even if someone dies, I don't want to go out. So then the dad said, okay, fine, because this guy, there was a guy who she liked. He called up and asked if you want to come down for a movie. This is the before smartphones existed. You would have a telephone with a wire in the house. So those days there was no portable smartphones. No sooner she had that, what? He really called? She shouted. Yeah, he said he'll be here in half an hour before, but now maybe another 10-15 more minutes. No sooner, she's like, why didn't you tell me? And she immediately went, had a shower, changed clothes, and within less than 10 minutes, she was down waiting, looking absolutely elegant, fresh, and beautiful. Okay. And the guy, kind of arrived after a few minutes, and the parents were just quiet, they're just looking, they didn't say anything. And she was like beautiful, and he took her out and they went for a movie or something, and then they went out. And he told them, don't come back late. It seems that she left at 9 or 8 or 9 or something. And they came back at around, I think, literally 3 or 4 in the morning. And after she came in the morning, the father, got up because he had to go to work. He got up 4:30. Like 4:30 he got up, 5 he had to be ready. The mother also got up because she had to prepare for the other children. And this girl was sitting in the kitchen and she was so happy and she was singing, and it seems they had a great movie. Then they went for a dance. And okay, now, even though this story is kind of like maybe it's not true or whatever, but I'm very sure this story resonates with most of you because it must have happened. You come exhausted from work and you don't want to do anything, but your friends call you for a movie, or you ask to come outside, or go for smoking a shisha, or eating food with your friends, or going for a game. And 100 out of 100 times, not even 99 out of 100, unless you're really sick, you will want to take part. There are so many times in my life when I was a working class guy, I'd come tired, but no sooner, and I'd go to the gym and finish my exercise, then I want to crash. But if my friends would call, hey man, let's go for a shisha, Burger King, or go watch a movie, somehow I would accommodate that request and I would go. And where I wanted to sleep at 9 or 10, being exhausted, I'd end up sleeping 4 or 5. Now, why is so the case? Obviously, you'll say that instead of sitting in one place and studying, you're doing something. But it's beyond that. The reason is simple. When you are going to do something that is of great interest to you, that is fun, that you enjoy, that brings out the best in you, that gives you attention, that gives you happiness, oh, you'd love to do that, man. It's a pleasure. Like, in the example that I give, the girl meeting a guy who she likes. Let's say a girl wants to meet you. In fact, I had my client. He was telling me he's going to retire for the day, sleep and all that. And then he had to meet up with a really attractive girl. Very attractive, and that too in a like 7-star hotel, like you say, no? Not 5-star, 7-star. Woo! Forget being fresh. $1 million. He was... Oh. It's because of a simple human characteristic. We do things we enjoy. It's fun. And there's nothing wrong in that. So now comes down to your question, how to overcome laziness. See, laziness stems from when you don't like something, when you have no interest in it, when you have no passion, when you're forced to do it. And most importantly, like, this TED Talk video, Simon Sinek, tell me why. Start with why. Start with why. When you don't know why you're doing this, when you don't have a strong enough reason, other than, I just have to do it, man. It's the boss said, or, the management expects, or, I'm going to listen, I'll have to listen to shit from my parents. It becomes boring. But here's one last example before, and this is not a story, it's a factual example. Let's say you don't like something, like studying for the exam. Let's say you do not like doing the project or working. Let's say that you don't want to do a particular house chore, okay, that they have asked you to do. But now, have you noticed when the exam due date comes and you realize if you don't pass, you're going to lose out on a whole year, or your parents will stop sending you to college, or, it's a matter of life and death. Or let's say, for example, you don't achieve your target. Now you have been served a termination notice. You don't achieve your target next month. You're out of a job and there's no jobs. And you have bank loans and you have expenses to pay. Or let's say your house chore you don't like to do, but now your parents say that, okay, we're going to go for this movie, you will not take you. Then automatically you'll do, no? So now there's a negative incentive or motivation. And sometimes a positive one works. If your parents say, I'll support you whichever college of your choice. You'll study. Or your girlfriend says, if you really lose weight, then, we're going to have a good time together. Or the boyfriend says, or say the husband tells the wife, if you finish this task by XYZ, I'll give you this special gift. Or vice versa. So positive, negative motivation. However, that itself cannot be stayed long term. So now comes the conclusion. What is a solution to overcoming laziness? See, there's no one size fits all answer. But I can only tell you this much. If you're lazy, it is because you don't have interest and passion in what you do. If that is the case, to force interest and passion is not possible. You can't force love. You can't force interest in someone if someone is not interested. That's why it's hard to convince children to study and all that. So if you are a child, let's say my child doesn't want to study and all that, I'll give a very powerful negative motivation. You'll go back to the village and work on the rice field, no internet, no phone, no going out. You'll live a life of a laborer. And I'll actually make the child go live that for 6 months, suffer, and then they'll realize maybe 1 year, maybe put in a military school where you suffer, really suffer. And then you come back as a person with character and wisdom. But this shouldn't be done at the last moment. It should be done much before. But now if you're an adult, what do? How do you inculcate this? That is where you need to ask yourself, number one, how can I make this task interesting? Do I team up with someone? Like, I never got a rank in my life. I never studied. But, and my mother used to get me, she had a shop that she was running, a small shop selling all items. So I was to come there, and I accidentally found out one of the boys who stayed in that colony was my classmate and rank holder, number one. So my mother used to say, hang out with him, and his mother was very accommodating. And the mother used to call me to study with him, which I hated at first, but they eventually became fun. So we both used to study. Imagine, we both used to study. I always used to not know as much as him, but the mother used to make me study. And lo and behold, my grades improved. Why? Because I had somebody else to study and someone to guide me, which my mother was never good at. Another one, let's say you go running or jogging and you're always bored. You know, when I go running or jogging, I go slow. But sometimes I get this guy who's a physical trainer, great physique, older than me. Come, Loy, come with me. He goes a little faster. And because I have company, I go a little faster. So now I'm no longer lazy to go slow. Or let's say I incentivize myself. If I do this, I will buy this. Say a new product has come out, a new gaming device or something fun. I'll work hard towards it. So you need to take charge of your life because you know your personality. Find out what tempts you, find out what drives you, find out what motivates you, and do that. One of the ways I motivate myself to really work hard, I'll tell you, is I tell myself if I achieve this target in terms of money, I will buy this, or I will do this, or I will go for a holiday, or whatever. And this kind of, it's fun. You play these games, whether it is a game or whether it's a reward or whatever. End of the day, remember, end of the day, keep one thing in mind. Nobody can motivate you other than yourself. So find out a way. Either get a group of friends, or get a senior, or get your mentor, or speak to your loved ones, or join a group. You need to keep experimenting until you find. But I can tell you this much, that the sum total of your environment will be a result, and your upbringing will be a result of whether you're lazy or whether you feel motivated or whether you're a slouch. My case, I don't have anyone other than myself, and I have responsibilities. And yes, I live my life doing what I'm passionate about. I live the life of my dreams. So for me, laziness is never a question. I might be a little lazy to do hard exercise, but overall, I guess I'm pretty okay. So I hope this answered your question. How do I overcome laziness? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Good, bad, ugly. Love to hear from you. You guys take care. All right? Ciao.